Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages. We are live talking shit. Let's take a look. Get my background hooked up. We are just coming out of the live stream. I thought I did this already, but I did not. This week's topic, Holy Grail comics. So we're going to be doing, is it a grail? Is it not a grail? Can modern books be holy grails? You have a personal grail? Should I get signatures on my book? Should I have Scarlett Johansson sign my first appearance of Black Widow book? You know, some people think you should. Some people think that doing stupid things are cool. So we'll go into all of that today as our co-presenters come through. You just got me right now, Nate the Great, owner, operator, producer, all that good stuff, collection connection. And with me to start off the show is from Tennessee, the Jada Geek, and his Serenity shirt, half Chinese writing, half NASCAR, all heart.
Yeah.
All right.
So does that mean if I have first appearance of Hulk that I should have both, or I should have Eric Bana and Mark Ruffalo and Ed Norton sign it? Is that what you're telling me?
You should only have She-Hulk sign it.
Yeah, that's sure to make it go up in value.
Right?
I guess the question is a Grail comic whatever, what the community calls a Grail, or is a Grail comic what you consider a Grail for your collection?
Well, we'll get into all of that, right? Because I want to see that there's probably different levels of that, but we'll ease into that as we're going. We want to make sure we get Fuzzy in here, and anybody else that wants to join. I think the Havoc might have something to say about this. Oh, do I hear? I think I hear the sound of packed smokes.
Ow, baby.
Fuzzy and the Fat Man Comics himself. Today,
Yeah.
Fuzzy, we're talking Holy Grail comics.
Holy Grails, good God.
Holy Grail. I figured this.
The ones that we have, or ones that we want, or just
Yes.
out of.
What's a Holy Grail? Can a modern book be a Holy Grail? Should you have Eric Bana sign your first appearance of the Hulk?
Oh fuck no.
But it might make it a Holy Grail.
No. I got a box of books in there I can show you that fucking ain't that are signed by famous people that ain't no Holy Grail. But to me they are. But for other people, wouldn't be able to sell it to anyone for less than a couple bucks. Like I still got.
We can also talk. Upgrading your books. That was something that I was able to do. With the adventing of pressing. Oh, we've got a commenter in here. Hector Valenzuela, what's going on, homie? Hector Valenzuela, his little brother Jose was the one who was in with me on the Punji Pits back in the day.
Right.
Old school.
We got two delinquents.
So Holy Grail comics. I think it gets spoken of quite a bit, and there's lots of controversy about what's a Holy Grail comic. And I think today we want to go like, can a modern book be a Holy Grail? Is a Holy Grail, does it have to be Amazing Fantasy 15, Detective Comics 27, Giant Size X-Men #1? Would that be Holy Grail? If somebody's sitting on a Detective 27, he's going to have a level of snobbery that wouldn't even let Giant Size be a Holy Grail. But there are people who would go and say the New Mutants, 87's a Holy Grail. There are going to be people who say that that's too new. But then, is it dollar amount? Walking Dead #1. Is that a Holy Grail?
Hmm?
That's from 2003, right? Am I not mistaken? That's a 2003 book?
Yeah.
So that's 20 years ago. What's crazy is that's modern.
Well, what
So-
about if you're going price wise? You've got early like Sonic the Hedgehogs and Ninja Turtle animated series, comics from the Archie stuff that they did. So,
Well, you got to look at the rarity. Like we have a picture on the background right now of Indiana Jones, right? And if Indiana Jones was out there, he's not going to go for a common fucking treasure. He's going to go for the whole where the saying came from. You know what I mean? The holy fucking grail, like the one and only. Like, so Amazing Fantasy 15, Detective, all those ones right there. There's not a lot of good copies of those books laying around in this world, like at all, like that exist. So to find one, that to me is a holy grail. You know what I mean? Like Walking Dead, I think I consider it a holy grail, but it's because of the print run. It was a fucking small print run. Like nobody was buying it. Same thing with the Invincibles. You know what I mean?
That could be a thing too, though, right? So is Dead Poo a holy grail?
well, yeah. And then
It has a low print run.
You start
The
getting into
original.
some of those Whatnot comics where the print runs are only 25 or 10 or 50. You know what I mean? And that's
Then you
worldwide,
can just-
But
Well, is the Lego variant of Bunny Mask a holy grail?
to Lego, it is. That's the thing. That's what my initial question was: is the definition of a holy grail what the community sets up, or is a grail for your collection? Is it a personal thing that you have? Like, I want this in my collection, and this is what I want to collect, and this is the one that I'm missing out. Like right now, one of the ones I'm missing is that stupid Voldemort gold Lego minifig. I can't find that little bastard anywhere. Like, well, that's a grail for me.
See, I think Fuzzy's actually onto something, because when you say the Holy Grail, obviously that's a reference to the cup that contained the blood of Christ when he was crucified. It's a one-of-a-kind, extraordinarily rare, and very valuable piece of history. And I don't think anything modern can fit into that. I think there's a distinction between a grail and a key. A key.
Right.
A lot of comics can be key comics. I'll give that to The Walking Dead. But Walking Dead #1 is no Action Comics #1. Get the F out of here. There are grails, and then there's the guys that maybe in 100 years they'll be grails too. Maybe. What is it?
What
that
about those
Belloc-
people that think that Goku could beat Superman?
What's
Very
that?
Comics
They're
not-
idiots.
I agree.
They're fucking-
First of all, I agree.
Yeah.
But look,
My son is one of them.
So there are people that don't believe in Christ. That doesn't mean that the Holy Grail itself is worthless, right?
Right.
So people might not like Action Comics or might not like Superman. That doesn't remove the value of it. The value is independent of what their determinations are. And I have a feeling that comic books like Invincible and Walking Dead, as good as they are, I don't think that if comic fans of the past saw them, that they would value them in the same way that we do. I think they're a product of our time, whereas something like Action Comics is timeless. You know what I mean?
Like it's going to hold its value, like
Yes.
like that's, and I think part of it, I think that's why there's two. It should be said as two different things. There's personal holy grails, and then there's fucking like the holy grails. So everyone has like a personal, like you were saying, Liz. Yours is the minifig. You know what I mean? Like everyone's got that thing that they're looking for. I'm trying to collect all the Superman books. So anything under a certain number, when I get them, like Superman under 100, if I get a Superman 80 or what, maybe nothing big happened to me, but to me that's a holy grail because there's not a lot out there. Like if I can find one, I'm a happy camper. Like I'll spend the money on that. But some of these other ones, like what's the new one that came out, the Spider Boy, first appearance of Spider Boy, and everyone was losing their nut over it. Yeah, and I'm like, I kept laughing. I'm going like, this is going to be in the dollar bin in about a month or two once you guys, because they've printed so many fucking copies of it. It's going to be that easy to get a hold of. It's not hard. You'll find someone hard up for money. I have a New Mutants 98. Okay, it's a 5. It's maybe a 6, dude. I got it for $20 because the guy really needed money. So I now own it. So the technical grail, one of the grails, got it. You know what I mean? I don't need to wait. And I don't even consider that a grail. I just consider it, like you said, a big key. It's a big key book. You know what I mean? First appearance of Deadpool. But there are a lot of copies of that book out there. So is it easy to get one? Yeah. Now, Action Comics, it doesn't matter what grade it is. No one's going to sell that to you for, under $100,000. It could have the cover hanging off by a thread, and it's easily $100,000 book right there. So
a lot of those books, people actually get together and invest in those books as a conglomerate and put them in banks.
yeah. Well, did you ever see the movie The Accountant with Ben Affleck?
Yep.
Where there's that one scene where he's on the run and he's in there and he opens up his drawer of like on the go things, and what's in there? Perfect copy of Action Comics, you know what I mean? Like fucking a detective book in there, because it's like stuff that he can get rid, like that's valuable, like that will keep its value. A Michael Jordan rookie card, you know what I mean? Unless it comes out that Michael Jordan was being a pedophile or some shit like that, those cards will continually go up, dude. You know what I mean? Even, past his prime, when he's gone from this world, it'll be considered one of those Babe Ruth baseball cards. You know what I mean? Like, it's longevity. What's going to last the longest? The Hulk, you know what I mean? I think the newest Grail would probably be 181, Hulk 181. That's probably the closest newest Grail, like that will never lose it, because everyone loves Wolverine. Like that's one of those characters that everyone passes down from generation to generation.
So Wolverine is the newest you can get.
That's in my opinion, yeah. Because I mean, even
that's like the cutoff.
When we get older, when we're older, and our kids are remembering The Walking Dead, that's when that book's going to become like a fucking big Grail, because again, the print run is very low on those, but everyone was invested into the Walking Dead show. You know what I mean? So they're going to be like, I want that book. Yeah.
My personal significance with Wolverine was that it came out when I was born.
There you go.
That book came out when I was born. So.
Well, I remember being the kid at the shop when the Wolf, that Jim Lee cover, and it was the Wolverine series, but it was Jim Lee did the cover or something like that. And I remember seeing that book on the wall, and it was like $15 or something like that. And I was like, what the hell is that? And the guy's like, oh, you don't know about Wolverine, dude? Like, no. And he pulled out
Claremont's right on the X-Men.
Yeah, I found love after that. Like, and same thing with Spider-Man. Like, but again, Amazing Fantasy has always been one of those fucking Grail books. So I mean, but again, with all the
Spider-Man came out swinging. Wolverine had to simmer up.
Yeah, later on he became cooler and stuff. But I mean, and I'm sure once the X-Men books movie comes out, and hopefully it's good, then you're going to see those books go through the roof, and they're going to.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Here's to wishful thinking, dude. But I've been hearing rumors about Lucas possibly buying Star Wars back from Disney at a discount, because they're trying to get rid of properties because of how much shit they're in, how overextended they are, and how they're not making any money anymore.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you don't release good movies.
Such news always pleases me. I want to see these bastards burn for what they've done.
Well, I mean, dude, like there's good. There's what I sometimes understand when people are like, oh, it doesn't translate to film. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I do get it, because it's hard to tell a story like that. Some of those, but there are stories, especially in the X-Men. You know what I mean? Like that you can fucking pull off. Like,
they're just human stories.
Yeah,
where the humans happen to be super powered.
Right.
And that's awesome. The sad thing is if they were going to try to, let's say, do the Phoenix saga. Like, Phoenix is my fucking jam. Phoenix to me is what Superman is to you, all fuzzy. And I got 2 movies where they did it shittily. And it's like, are they really going to... Do they think that Phoenix just doesn't work as a movie? Or is it just that they didn't fucking do it right? And how many times they're going to keep on trying to do it? So, yeah, Holy Grails. So, Fuzzy's saying that Wolverine's the cutoff. I think I think there's something to that. What about for younger generations, Zennials, and people who just want to be in comics, into comics? But see, that's the thing. I think that I'm probably a really good example of. I'm a collector who collects comics, but I'm not a comic lover first. Like I probably gotten into reading maybe like 3 different storylines that I was really into, like since the 90s. Other than that, I was just buying books because I thought the cover looked cool or that they might be worth money. So, and I think that there's a lot of people who are like I am with it. And where does that leave the hobby in 10 years, 20 years? Even my got a goblin in the mist.
Hey,
Make Havoc from the Geek Station.
What's up,
We're
dude?
talking Holy Grail comics. How are you today? That good? All right. Thanks for coming. So, I want to say there's personal grails, but I think this might be a good time to actually go through and maybe define, give these things the proper names right here with a time and date stamp on this. We've got keys. The key books are those ones that come out. Something is killing the children, #1. Is that a Holy Grail? No, but it's worth something. It's a good story. There's something that's got legs. Might be growing into other avenues, maybe movies, maybe shows, maybe other things that might introduce it to greater pop culture and have it not just be a comic thing. So that could be a key. But
okay. I just thought of one right now. Miles might be one. Ultimate Fallout 4. Because the popularity of that character with the little ones, if they do the live action right, it's gonna have legs, it's gonna take off. So I still say Wolverine is a cutoff, but that's another one that's gonna be later
the
on.
visual spectacle that they've been able to pull off with these Spider-Verse movies, how do you pull off Miles and not have it be a letdown?
You go back and you just retell the story of him and just not include Spider-Verse. Like, in other words, give us a Spider-Man movie with Miles instead of Peter Parker. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think they're going to try to do. So I'm with it. I love that character. Like, and I never read Ultimate Fallout before, really, like, until about I played the video game. When I played the video game, I was like, oh, who's this guy? And then they said there was another one. And I found the book. And again, I bought the first print at the time for not even $20. I think it was like $15 or something. I was like, oh, okay, I'll get it. And
I was
bought
lucky
it.
to get it in a trade from Isaac. It was very nice of him. I traded my first appearance of Hellboy and a Mike Mignola sketch,
Nice,
of Batman for it. And I think that those aren't janky on a trade, but I still think he was on the heavy end. So I appreciate that, him doing that. He did have another one. So
that Miles, the first appearance, that's one of the new blue chip keys now. That's one of the new, for this new generation, new Grail. That's only going to go up.
Have you been listening to us as we're talking, or are you just coming in right now, bro?
Just coming in.
Okay, so we were talking about Holy Grail comics, and can modern books be Holy Grails, or are they just keys?
Yes.
And
yes, Miles is.
And what's
Miles
the?
Is your
Well,
first,
we're still is Walking Dead from 2003. Is it a Holy Grail? Meaning
it's a Grail, not a Holy.
maybe that's how we should rephrase
So is that,
it.
and that's what we're trying to do. So
sure
it's one of those cups. It was the cup that it's the cup that Elsa made the random Nazi drink from that killed him. Or no, who was it? Josh, I know you know the guy's name and everything.
Donovan
Donovan drank from the fancy cup, killed him. It was a Grail, but it wasn't the Holy Grail.
A
So
holy
if we're
grail,
drinking,
a holy grail for me is well, everybody has different opinions, but for me, a holy grail would be like a AF-15, a Fantastic Four #1, X-Men #1, even Giant Size X-Men #1 would be a holy grail. Regular grails, modern grails, the main first modern grail, in my opinion, is Miles.
what we're trying
That
to
one.
say is, should we call? Is it time right here, right now on this channel to coin a new phrase for those books? Because how many like Holy Grail is it's like the Lost Ark. It's one thing, or it's like, I mean, we can probably throw a couple books in the Holy Grail category, but would it not be cool for us to get together right now and coin a new phrase for what these modern keys are? Walking Dead #1, Miles Morales, hell, even us, even Spider Gwen, Ghost Spiders, you know, that
But that
might
was not
that
that
might
one is not as hard to get as Miles.
Yeah,
Miles is
Miles,
it's a hard to get book and it's expensive book.
because
It,
the print
it's
run on
surpass,
that was low.
yeah, and it's surpassing Walking Dead, and so it's gonna surpass for the new generation now that all these new kids are watching Miles Morales. That's gonna be that's gonna be their Spider-Man. It's no longer gonna be Peter Parker.
so as
Unlike
low as a
my
print run
Spider-Man.
it is on that. Is there more or less of those than Hulk 181's in good condition?
I have no idea. I don't know the print run of. I mean, we don't even know. I mean, there could be a lot of Hulk 21 out there that people don't press them or CGC them, so we won't even know. I know a guy that has like 30 Ultimate Fallouts raw. Just he has them right. Whenever it gets bigger and bigger, he'll start selling a couple here, a couple there. But as of now, he has like around 30 of them. 30 of the main print, and then like 20 of the second print.
Well, then how big can the print run be if this dude's currently sitting on 30 and he's already sold a few? You know what I mean? That's the
Well,
thing.
okay.
That's the problem is that you don't know. With moderns, you don't necessarily know what the print runs are because you have the stores ordering X amount. They get X amount of time to sell it, and if it doesn't sell, they get to ship it back. And sometimes they're destroyed, so the print run can be lower, but more often than not, those copies are sent back to the distributor.
Well, he was able to get all those copies when people didn't care about Miles, and when those Ultimate Fallouts were basically on the back issues for like $5.
No,
so
I get that, but if he's sitting on so many that he bought at $5 a piece or $10 a piece or whatever, how big of a print run? You start talking about print runs, and it's how big of the print run is. If this one person's got 30, I know another person online that I saw opened up a box of they got a collection somewhere, and it's distributor packs. It's like the original. There's like 50 or 25 or 50 in a bundle. That's another 100 copies right there that one person has. So,
Manji, welcome.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's one of those things where how small the print run is. If people are having, this guy's got 30, that guy's got 50, over here they've got 20, this dude over here's got 10. That starts to add up. And how rare is it then?
Even without the rarity, the price is still going up no matter what on this book. Like it's gonna just keep going up like crazy.
Well, I'm not disputing the price and the price and the value of it because
we talked about that, Isaac. Thanks like again, man.
It's more of a like how rare is that comic? It's just he's popular right now and everybody wants him, and you can see that there's momentum behind them. But in 5 years, is that momentum still going to be there? Maybe they've moved on to another character, and then
has Walking Dead gone down?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it has. See,
but,
Isaac has too. So,
like I said, Peter Parker is going to be basically Uncle Ben sooner or later, and Miles is going to be Peter. it's just gonna be that's how it's gonna be with the new generation because all these new kids growing up are all care about Miles. They don't even care about Peter anymore.
So,
Yeah,
so it's basically going to be the new Amazing Fantasy 15, is what you're saying. And
well, I don't know if it's gonna be as that big, but it'll be going towards that way.
I just think again, like you look back, like I've told I did a sale the other day and I was talking with a lady. She was asked, she wanted to get into like selling collectibles and stuff, and she had kids, and I said, the Iggy, my man, I love that picture, dude. You're the best looking Barbie I've seen yet. And like I tell them, I go, the things that are okay. Think about it this way. How many of us on this chat right now had He-Man or Ninja Turtle toys? Like tons of them, right? We all fucking bought them. Can you remember going to KB Toy Store, Toys R Us, when the fucking thing nosedived and nobody wanted them anymore, and getting them in the fucking bins? They had that big white ugly bin. You'd go in there and it was 3 for $5, or whatever the fuck it was. Those things now are worth so much money. Like at the
last 17 Star Wars toys.
Mm-hmm. Like these are things that we all threw away. So I was telling the lady, I go, you got kids, man. I go, if they're buying Pokemon right now, get them a Pokemon and fucking get yourself one and just stick it in a box. Because I guarantee you, these are the people in 20, 30 years that are going to have money in their pocket and want to taste their fucking childhood again. And that's what they're going to fucking get.
Yeah, but
this is one of the last 17 Star Wars toys. Roomba, the Ewok.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Continue.
So that's what I'm saying is when I look at things like what's gonna maybe hold its value, and that like even right now, like Walking Dead, a lot of us have a lot of bad taste in our mouth about Walking Dead because we didn't like the way it ended. The show kind of fucking started to suck towards the end, so it lost it's losing its momentum. But in like 10 more years, these kids are all going to have jobs and they're going to be talking about, remember how we used to sit around and watch Walking Dead every night? Yeah, that was awesome. Dude, I wonder how much that
we used to go to release parties.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was an event. Like, they were events of those things. So it's like that's the stuff that people are going to remember. I even learned it while sitting there with Greg the Hammer Valentine, right? Like I'm sitting there, I'm watching these people walk by and look. And they're like, oh my God, like it just clicks. Like the thing about their youth comes into their eyes, and they're going to fork over $40 for a picture he just printed out of his fucking printer, and they're going to sign it. And that made their day. You know what I mean? I have a comic that he signed for me, at the show, and, I'm never going to sell it. It's mine. Like that's my memory of the show I did with Greg the Hammer and shit like that. So to me, that's a grail. But it's, could I get anything for it? Probably not, dude.
But that's the thing is that shows you that those things are not actually grails. The thing is when Action Comics #1 came out, all the people that would have remembered that from their childhood, they're all dead. That those people aren't around anymore, and yet those comics are still incredibly valuable because it's like a transgenerational sort of thing. I don't think that modern comics have that sort of nature to it. I'm not even sure how modern you can get. I would even hesitate with something like Amazing Fantasy 15. Is that really gonna like hold the line through the decades and even centuries? Action Comics #1, we're coming up on 100 years for that thing. It's not going down in value.
But that's because we've passed the story of Superman through cartoons, through movies, through comics. Like it's like the S is one of the most fucking no. You go anywhere in the world and you show that S, everyone knows cares about Superman. I'm gonna bitch slap you and your booster crap. You know what I'm saying? Where's Isaac? We need to make that booster ship comic so we can let him know. Superman is a man. That. That's why we're rebooting the universe.
That Wonder Bread
on the chest, on the chest, you know what I mean? But it's because we've been doing that. So again, like I was saying, like Miles right now, I was hanging out with Steve, I think when we were eating like Korean barbecue, and they showed the trailer for that, what's it called? The X-Men, or no, the Miles Morales game. And I'm sitting with them, and literally the day before that or 2 days before that, I had done a garage sale. CGC 9.8 second printing there. Nobody would take it for $100. Nobody would take it. They were like, oh, it's a second printing. Oh, it's a second printing. Oh, it's a second printing. That commercial came out, book went through the roof, right? Everyone wanted it. Then when they said the Spider-Verse was coming out about it, and kids were already, they got hooked on Miles because of the video game. So now they're going into this, just like we were talking about Serenity. You got hooked on Firefly, so you go into Serenity, just balls to the wall. You know what I mean? And so that's why I think Miles has legs. Now, if they make a live action version and it doesn't do good, then would be the time to swoop in and grab them, because fucking like Fantastic Four is a prime example. I've been collecting Fantastic Four for years, and as soon as the the news that Fantastic Four was going to come out, I used to be able to get them for, I'm talking, except for like, you know, first appearance of Black Panther, but I'm talking early issues of Fantastic Four, $5, $3. You know, no one cared. No one liked Fantastic Four. Now all of a sudden everyone's talking about it. You can't get a hold of them. So now those are shooting up in value. Look at that. Like, that's fucking insane. And I sold mine for $3.50. So I'm like, I was happy with
$3.50.
$3.50, baby. I about did it for $3.50. Ain't that right, Isaac? But like what was Iggy was saying? Iggy was saying something about the Five Nights at Freddy, and how, like, there you go. So, like, you know, yeah, I agree with him. My kid is obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy. Like, he literally, every time we go to the movie theater, he walks by the poster and he goes, Dad, Five Nights at Freddy. And I just start laughing, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to start investing in these stupid Five Nights at Freddy things now, because they're everywhere. But it won't pay full price. I'm going to find it at clearance.
It's just got to get to clearance unscathed.
Well, you could find stuff like that. You just, again, it just takes digging. It takes digging. And oh, look, do I have them here? Hold on.
Well, to talk about the Five Nights at Freddy's, though, here's the thing: is like, yeah, sure, in 25 years or whatever, you know, it's going to be something that's big, but it's going to be big in 50 years, in 75 years, 100 years.
Well, that's the thing, though, right? Like the boomers, our parents, they wanted those train sets. They're big things set on tables and Hot Wheels. And as they fade out, like certain super rare Hot Wheels that maybe they showed their kids were worth something, their kids might still carry the passion for what their kids might still carry the passion for what their dad was collecting. But, you know, like, I think Star Wars still has legs, and those of us who are still young enough we're still young enough to keep G.I. Joes fairly valuable. But I wanted the next 10 years or whatever, when the Xers start getting too old and either selling their shit off or dying, those things go down. I think right now Power Rangers are hotter.
Oh yeah, Power Rangers are hot right now. But look at these. Remember these things?
Yep, that's the line of action figures I wanted to collect, was the Marvel Universe stuff.
I have all the X-Men of them.
Tom had all these in a box for $2 a piece, dude. I was like, give me these goddamn things. But I found a Miles Morales, dude, right there. That's probably one of the first ever action figures of Miles Morales right there. So, gonna be worse. I was like, even being fucked up, there's gonna be a kid that wants that shit. So it goes into my box of don't touch ever until you're old. Close your eyes, don't look.
I got some rare ones. There was some, let's say Archangel was rare. Phoenix was rare. I got like a Cable with the Baby Hope in the chest still in the package.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a San Diego Comic-Con one. I've got a bunch of those still. But
yeah, I know. I think I was watching.
And then they dumped the scale. They dumped the they dumped that size in favor of the big ones. Which
I like
know-
those ones.
Do you know why they did that scale for that series? There actually is a reason for it. Because before it was, they were always doing the 10-inch or the 6-inch. You know what I mean? They were doing the bigger ones. Why they dropped it down to the 3 3/4 inch size?
so people can play with them with GI Joes and Star Wars.
No. You're gonna love this. It's because in the highest selling character is Deadpool. And Rob Liefeld, at the time, the 3 3/4 inch line wasn't a big deal when he signed his contracts for his toys to get a cut of it. It was for the 6-inch and above. Anything that size and above, he got a piece of. He didn't get it for the 3 3/4 inch one because nobody was doing it at the time, so it wasn't part of his contract. So they went in and they started doing that line in that size because they didn't have to give him any money because the highest selling character in that like everything else was Deadpool. They were constantly selling the Deadpool, all the different colors, all the different.
So they released the smaller figure just to screw Liefeld out of royalties.
Just because they could make more money because nobody was under contract. None of the creators were under contract for that size at the time. And so it was all profit for them. And so that's why they decided
thinking outside the box.
That's why they decided to dump the 6-inch line. I think they were doing 6-inch at the time.
You know what's crazy? This is a little bit of a side path, but I think we kind of segued into it a bit. My the Panera was having some kind of a deal.
The taco truck.
Panera was having a deal where you could come up with a recipe for some kind of food, and then if your recipe wins, then you get like $1,000 and to go eat lunch with the CEO or whatever. And I'm just like, that's the shittiest deal that somebody could ever have for me. Like, am I trying to be fucking Jack Kirby, where I come up with the best food ever? You're going to sell 1 million of them, and I got $1,000 for that?
Oh, but you got dinner too with the CEO.
Yeah, dinner with the CEO. Like, if put some shit like I get 1% of the sales of that item in perpetuity, I would be sending you 1 million fucking items. But for the deal you want, like, nah, dude, I need to have a steak. If I don't get a steak of that shit, then I'd rather it not even come to light. So if it was up to me, there'd be no Spider-Man.
Yeah, anyway, I thought that was an interesting little tidbit that I found out about when I was working at the store. I was like, that's kind of funny, actually.
That's very funny. That's fucking good. But again, like just like that thing we were watching. I don't know how many of you guys watched that thing about keeping it thorough about the writers and of comics and stuff like that.
I've only ever watched the ones you send us, Fuzz.
He was talking about how a lot of the writers right now are speaking up. So it's kind of like the Me Too movement, but of writers saying that Marvel, it's priceless. They were saying that Marvel and like DC and like Image is getting sued right now for not paying people for writing, and so they have these strict deadlines, and they're making next to nothing. Like I guess a couple of the writers came out and said literally what they were getting per page, which was like $80. So they would get like $80 per page, and then they wouldn't pay them for like 8 months. But they had to keep working on the book because the contract said so. I was like, damn, dude, that sucks. Like, and it was the artist. I thought he was a writer. Yeah, the guy that died. They haven't released why, but they think he fucking killed himself. They think, or he overworked himself.
We know why he died.
Oh, that guy, that
blood
guy
clots.
Blood clots.
Him and being Puppy Cat, that guy.
Yeah.
Adventure Time. Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't.
Same shit. They got Jamie Foxx.
They didn't release it yet.
Right there, Jaded.
We're just in the beginning stages, guys. Buckle your safety belts because it's going to be a long ride.
Yeah. Again, but as an artist, I like everyone was even telling me, aren't you pissed at this, that everything's going on still, with like strikes and people not, aren't people whining? I'm like, no, dude. I go, you just like you said, you got to agree, man. If you make something that makes that much money, Like, you're not even asking for half of it. Like, just give me a piece of it. Like, you guys are creating everything else from now on. It was my idea, great, but just give me a little taste of it. That's all I want is a little taste, and then you can go with the rest.
At
Take the
1% in
idea.
perpetuity.
Yeah, it's not asking a lot. Like, that's just greed. That was one of the reasons why, like, that Trees Company show that we were doing that fell apart is because of greed. Like, everyone kept saying who made what, and and I kept explaining. I'm like, you understand, it's all like got timestamps and shit of how it got created, so it's not hard. Like, we all did something in it, but one person thought they did more than the other, and this and that, and fucking the whole thing fell apart. Like, the studio was just like, I'd rather just not do it. I'd go over here and do it with these guys who aren't going to argue about who owns what, you know what I mean, and stuff. So it's a sad thing when you collaborate with people like that. But well, that's why, like, even with, if someone asked me to write a book, I probably would. I would do it. I'd write a comic, but I wouldn't try to create new characters or anything like that. I would just write it, and then, like you were saying, Nate, earlier, you don't really read the books. You know what I mean? I think a majority of the collectors out there don't read the books. They just get it for, like you said, cool cover, or if it's some sort of key that they think they're gonna invest in. And the one thing they've noticed is these investments now have lost a lot of value. So people are dumping
I do want to keep it. I do want to keep it on the 100. It isn't that I don't like reading them. It's just that me personally, I have
limited time.
I'm a pretty busy dude.
Yeah.
So it's
hard.
In
man.
fact, that's how this all ended up coming about. This collection connection going in this direction, because it was just kind of me doing like information, like making videos about with production and things like that, and then it going into these talking with friends and all that kind of stuff came from me not having time. Me when we got together with the Comic Cave guys, it was like they were having a hard time getting the production piece done, and I was having a hard time reading the books. So I'm like, dude, you guys read the books, talk, you have chemistry, you can talk with each other. I'll do the dirty work, and then we had a good thing for a while, but it's tough. It's tough with timing.
Well, there's also the part of it where you have to have the desire to read the damn thing in the first place. Some of us are so fed up that we don't even want to pick up the book.
Yeah, it's got to draw you. There's that for sure. There's that piece for sure. There's being preached to, being like, hey, you like, and we know the artists now. We know the artists. We know the writers. All their politics are on their sleeves for us to see. And you can have somebody who you loved reading their books forever. All of a sudden, you're like, hey, wow, this artist says that I'm a piece of shit for all the values I have, and they want to charge me $5 a month for this book. And then they're starting to preach in that they're starting to add into the book that I'm a piece of shit for the values that I have. So that that piece can work against you. But there's also, what do you get? 20 pages? 20 pages for $5, where we used to get, you get a whole. It was the same thing that was happening that we're seeing in movies. I think is what we're seeing in a lot of these modern comics, and I think that we're having a really good time with the modern Indian movies because they're not commercially driven as much as they're still driven by creativity. And I think in comics you have to take the indie route. That's why I kind of I've always been a big fan of what the Comic Cave guys are doing, because they really leaned into those original stories and they try to carry and feature those creators in what they're doing. So, but that commercial piece, it's soulless.
Well, that's
Yeah,
why I like. Go ahead.
Civil
Dave.
War Part 7.
Well, I was just going to say, I think that there's another aspect of it. It's not just the preachiness, but I think just on a fundamental level, it's like the low quality of the stories that come out. I mean, look at the reaction that people had to Secret Empire when Captain America turned out to be a secret Nazi the whole time. Or, events like that where people read it and they're like, what's the point of this? Why am I even reading it? There's creative and editorial decisions that are being made that are nonsensical and dishonor the characters. Nobody wants to read about their favorite superhero just getting, dragged through the mud. Nobody wants to read that.
Well, that's that. But I mean, I have a feeling. Again, I don't know. But just from working in media and like film or whatever, I think a lot of those things, like fucking making Superman's kid, bisexual or gay, and Captain America a fucking Nazi and shit like that. Like, I think those were things to shock people, to like make little news blobs about it, to make people want to go buy that book. Like, that was what they were depending on, is the shock value, Batman's dick, things like that. Like, stuff like, because if you look back at all the ones that were hyped up, it's always something like that people would just go and buy as many as they could, you know what I mean? And then it would go up here, and then it would fucking just, like a roller coaster go down. So they're not trying to tell a story. They're trying to think of ways to make something crazy happen to make everyone fucking want to go get this book because something stupid happened and shit. And that's why I love the Comic Cave. They were only wrong about like 3 books that they recommended for me, but other than that, they were all fucking, So I mean, you can't win 100 Comic Cave. I'm sorry, guys. I there's a couple of them I just threw into the trash as soon as after I read. But
any specifics?
Oh fuck! What was the? I think I literally, hold on. I think I got it because I threw it in the box to sell. Like, it's it.
So, let's see. Keys, Grails. Keys and Grails. We're not making anything up with that.
Well, it's kind of hard to, because you're really talking about 2 different things. I think the whole idea of keys is that it's something that has speculative value, right? So there are going to be ups and downs with it. There's going to be times when it's worth a lot, times when it's not. New movie comes out, new comic, a twist in a character, brand new character, something like that. There's going to be this undulation in the market value of it. Like people say, in 20 years, Miles Morales is going to shoot up again because all the people that are into it right now are going to be of age and have the money and blah, blah, blah. But Grails are things that I think stand the test of time. They don't go down in value. And that's why, like, a lot of that Golden Age stuff really is properly in that category, not just simply for like a true rarity, not an artificial one, but a true rarity because of time, but also because there's
the originals, right? Like,
yeah,
to have a Star Wars figure right now and have it to exist mint in the package when they were created at a time where people weren't saving them mint in the package,
right,
makes it special. To have a comic book that's perfect, in perfect shape during a time when people didn't think to keep your comics in perfect shape would make it rare and special.
Right.
Okay, guys, I just found, we're talking about Grails. We're talking about ones that to invest in. Give me a close-up, my man. Give me a close-up. You ready?
Whoa.
I found.
Yeah.
Bam. Right there. The holiest of Grails right there. Juggy, first appearance, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be worth $2 billion in like a couple months. Or no, years. A couple years. We're going to make it that big. I've got 30 copies available. I'll give it to you for $200. $200. But yeah, like I agree with you, dude. It's got a whole.
I'll give you one for 100.
No, don't be trying to lowball me, man. Jeez, come on, man. Fuzzy's trying to stay fuzzy. Yeah, like that. But again, to me, that the like my boy, any of my friends that do work, I love it to death. Like, I'm usually like, oh, I'm all about it. I still have a copy of Ninja Funk because it's JP's book. You know what I found too the other day? Hold on, let's see if I can find it. I have JP's first art that people forgot about, and it plugs into a movie that just came out this weekend.
Yeah, here's one of the things too that's different. I think with keys is that keys depends a lot upon your own personal interest. So, I would never pay $5 for a Miles Morales book because I have zero interest in the character. But even though I'm not really a Superman fan, if I was able to get an Action Comics #1 on the cheap, I would do it in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even think about it. And that's what tells you the difference. Is that even if you're, Sanchez over here talking smack on Kal-El, but the reality is that he could get his greasy mitts on a friggin' Action 1, he would do it in 2 seconds, right? But he's not going to get like some, Death of Superman, still in the black bag. He's probably going to just laugh that one off and leave it in the bin. Which, rightly that would be so, because that's a key, not a grail.
It's a grail.
No.
Okay, it's death.
Not on that one, dude.
America cried unanimously at that point.
The thing is, Fuzzy, and you know this, we were hoodwinked.
Bamboozled.
I
pleads the fifth.
Uh-huh.
I pleads the fifth. I know it's in here.
That was the beginning of the end, when it comes to producing comic books for shock value. Before that, they wanted to do things that had like great stories, where people, by word of mouth, they would say, hey, you really should pick up the current line of X-Men right now because the story is bomb. And this one, we're going to kill Superman. Everybody buy it.
Original JPG art. Ooh. The very first. Here's the other one. Again, 2018. Look at that. So, any of my friends do something, I always get at least a couple copies because I know one of them is going to become famous. Oh, shit. My kid's giving up on comics, so he gave me his comic box full of comics and shit.
So you're going to save them for him, right?
Uh-huh. Fuck no. I'm going to sell half of these things. Are you kidding me? Fuzzy needs to pay bills.
Well, see, and that's another thing we have to consider. So with the modern generations and these keys and stuff like that, a very common element of the younger generations is the lack of an attention span. They're great about it this week, but next week they'll be moving on to something else. And the
I have a box of Pokemon cards there to prove it to you.
There you go. They don't have a respect for heritage the way that those of us in the Gen X and older category do.
Well, I think some things they do, they're a lot more pickier than we were back then. Like
the word is
my kids.
It's not picky, it's fickle. That's the word you're looking for.
Okay, fickle. I'll take that one. But like, I took the kid to see Transformers the day before everyone else did, right? Because that's his jam. That he's like, when I looked at his face during that train wreck of a movie, his face lit up like I know my face does when I see James Bond or like certain movies where it's just like you don't care what it is, you're seeing it on the big screen, and that box that I have there is half full of Transformers books because he says that they're boring. That's what he kept telling me. He's like, they're boring. I don't want them.
Your face lights up on shitty movies, so we can't even.
What are you talking about, dude? You're the one that fucking likes Fast and the Furious, not me. I'm an honest giver, dude.
You're happy with shitty movies. Where you start crying with shitty movies.
No, I cry when there's Hort. You don't have a Hort. That's the difference, right?
That's true. But either way, shitty movies. Go with Fuzzy. He loves them.
Shit, dude. Me and James are gonna go see a good one on Wednesday. I think he said Wednesday. We're gonna go see The Blackening, dude. That's right up my fucking alley, right there.
You go do that.
Yeah. Did you see Transformers Havoc?
No, I wasn't able to. I was supposed to go with James, but I got out of work. I worked overtime that day, so I couldn't make it.
You didn't miss much, dude. Like It was bad.
Well, James loved it. I heard James said he liked the movie.
Oh my gosh! So one time I think I'm upset with James. Like, what the fuck, dude? That was the biggest train wreck.
I thought he was gonna be like you, like it's a train wreck, but he said he actually enjoyed it. So I was like, okay.
No, I didn't. No, my kid loved it too. He fucking walked out just ear to ear, just smiling. I was like, all right, that's worth it, dude. Like, the kid got to see it, and did you get to see it, Nate?
See what?
Transformers.
I did not. I saw Spider-Man yesterday.
Well, just go for Transformers. Just go for the last 20 minutes, and you'll be a happy camper.
That's what everybody tells me, but as soon as they said that, and they say specifically for me, you know, and I swear to God, nobody spoiled it for me. I'm just not stupid. And they said, when they say it to me, I'm like, oh, they're trying to do some fucking G.I. Joe shit in it. Like, I instantly knew it. And I'm like, is that the way
And the guy they picked
they're going to do
G.I.
it,
Joe?
if they're going to do it wrong, like, I thought, since 1983, I thought there's nothing more that I would love to see than to see Luke Skywalker back on the screen. I was just like, hey, if you could have your wish on movies and what are your favorite movies and and if you could wish to see something, I would love to see the continuing adventures of Luke Skywalker. Be careful what the fuck you wish for, because they're gonna fucking shit all over your heroes, and then they're gonna be like, it's not your Luke Skywalker, it's a Luke Skywalker for a rainbow generation. And I would just rather have him have died in 83.
Yeah. Yep.
I would just rather have, I would rather have there be never a G.I. Joe again and only my fucking memories than for them to shit on it and say it's not your G.I. Joe. Like, there are you know what? Let somebody from India write the fucking story.
Nah.
And then maybe, for Havoc, you are all up in the toilet and you don't know shit about that.
Nah.
So go back.
That ain't happening.
Havoc, you should watch the last one we just watched this week. It was literally like he took every American action movie, Fast and Furious, Mission Impossible, like everything, and just put it into one movie. Like, so every scene you remember that you loved in all those movies are all in this movie, just in a different premise and shit. Like, plot is this big. It was like what I wanted Fast and the Furious to be, but it wasn't. So
I'm good. I don't think I missed that much.
I think Nate's onto something. It's one of the reasons why when we were talking about on the show that's coming up for Serenity, our review of Serenity, Liz made the comment, I want them to bring it back, and I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Leave it alone. Let it lie. Yes, it was canceled early, but that's okay. You know what it means? It means that the quality was preserved. We
want to be a brown coat again, okay? We want to be brown coats again.
You can still be a brown coat, and you can remember the glory days. Don't bring it back. Don't. Leave it alone, because they'll wreck it. They'll ruin it like everything.
They
else.
will. It was a beautiful show, and
just if they want their thing for them, that's fine. You want your thing for you. And when they say that's not for you, what do you mean G.I. Joe's not for me? Like, G.I. Joe fucking came out in 1982. That shit was, I was 7. That shit was especially for me. Like, fucking, it is my thing. It was for me. Now, if they come out with some other fucking thing where it's like non-binary Joe, that's not my thing. And they should just, like, come out, make a different thing.
That's the key.
Make a different thing. Do your thing. Do whatever you want. Do your thing. Have it be planet battles. Battles with Rey.
But the
planet battles, but it ain't Star Wars.
They're not capable of coming up with new things. Their only ticket is to take what's already in existence and to corrupt it. That's their whole pattern.
Trojan horse. Use them as a Trojan horse to infiltrate.
Well, it's again, like I've said it on previous shows. It's a gamble, you know. Like everything now is a gamble. Like you can't make a low budget movie anymore. Like a low budget movie making money is next to nothing. You can't do it. Like they don't. Everybody wants a spectacle, and so if they're going to gamble on a big spectacle, they want to put a fucking name out there. So that's why we got 10 Fast and the Furious movies, because they just put that name on something, people show up. You know what I mean? They don't. That no one cares. I'm guilty of it myself. You know what I mean? I see Fab, I'm like, all right, let's go. Even after this last shitty one, I'm still gonna go. Like I'm gonna go every time I see Fast and Furious because I'm a junkie for it. Same reason why I watched all the Transporters. Jason Statham, the Transporter, was taken out of the movie, and they put a new guy in there. Fuzzy was the first person there to see it because it said the Transporter. I said, "Oh shit, well let's go see the Transporter."
See,
and I
I'm
sat
not
down.
that guy.
I think as much as I know what's behind the curtain, I'm still a fucking moviegoer. Like I'm a legit moviegoer. Like I see something like, oh, let's go. Like yeah, let's see the spectacle and shit.
I go every week, and I pay for all of them.
I pay for
Dollars.
most of them. I pay most of them. Most of them. Like fucking Transformers, I was pissed. I was like, because they gave us like these little badges for going the day early and like a poster for the kids, and I was like, so I surprised them, and we went and saw it, and I was gonna go to AMC to see it, and it was like almost $200 for fucking, you know, like 6 of us to go. I was like, fuck. And then I looked up Harkins, and it was $96 for all of us to go, and with reclining seats and everything. I was like, going to Harkins, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. And we fucking went and saw it, and so I'll pay for certain ones, but other ones I'm like,
yeah, I know, but you went and saw it, and now your kid don't want it anymore.
no, he asked me, he wanted to go tomorrow with his buddy. He's like, can I go tomorrow? I was like, you're paying for it. I'm not paying for it. I already paid for it. So fucking, if you use your money to go do it, that's your dumb fault. But he loved it. You know what I mean? Like to him, that was like one that he said, he goes, it was way better than last night, the last Mark Wahlberg one. And I just looked at him. I go, is that the standard? Like, it's got to be better than that one, dude? Because that one was better than this one. I'll tell you that much, dude. Like, at least there's this much of a fucking plot. But, you know, again, it's whatever. Like we were talking about keys and grails, and, you know, it just matters what people fucking like. Like, you know, the kid loves that stuff. So I know in 10, 15 years when my son's making money, you don't think he's going to be trying to buy all the Generation 1 Transformers to add in his collection?
The kids, like my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter right now, she listens to K-pop. It's kind of like the Hindi movies where it's like a little bit of, there's like a little bit of English. Chung chung cha choy, I bring the pain. Like
I don't get these fucking girls.
I get it because I want my 13-year-old. I would rather have my 13-year-old listen to K-pop than wet ass pussy.
I find it funny in my house because my wife yells at me about my foul loud mouth. Like, you talk too much shit, you know, you cuss too much, this and that. And then in the same breath, she'll turn the car on and wet ass pussy comes on, dude, and she's sitting there singing it, and my kids are singing it in the background. I just look at her and I go, but this is okay? I was like, and again, I come from a background of fucking, I was watching rated R movies when I was 5 years old with my dad. So, you know, cursing and everything.
I was too, and I'll let the kids, you know, see, like, I don't want them to be ignorant to the fact that there are certain places where people behave in this way. But not in my house and not in my car.
Right.
Like, and we're not, like, I want you can see that people act like this so that you know that we don't.
Yeah, no, I tell the boys when they get in my car.
Man, wait till they're teenagers.
They are teenagers.
Let me do that shit outside your house. Like,
they're not anywhere outside my house.
Just like everybody.
It's not the 90s.
Are you telling me
we drive them to school and we pick them up from school?
When you're in high school, talking all this madness with your friends and, you know, talking all this shit, saying bad
Miles
words.
got long hair. he wears a flannel shirt with Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Metallica. He goes to school. They're like, dude, he's got all vintage clothing. He's like fucking. He's like my stunt double from the like. If they came up with a movie,
Yeah, I would have done. He's doing a little stogie in the fucking high school. Like, what's up, bro? What's up? You know, fucking.
Yeah, but
you know,
Havoc,
come
he's
on,
supposed to do that.
We all did stupid
Yeah.
shit. We were teenagers. No kids are gonna be the exception. Fucking.
Kids are different. Like Isaac says, kids are different than we were. They weren't. They don't go out.
That's why I'm trying to push my kid out. Like when he tells me he wants to go out, I'm like, go, get the fuck out, go with your friends. And like, I agree with you, Havoc. Like fucking, I want my son to do that with his friends, but I want him to be smart. Like Nathan's saying, like, go look, dude. Like I'll show him. No, I know. I trust my kids. I trust them. And you know, if they get into trouble, I'm the first one they're gonna call. Yeah, I want them to have them at the fingertips. I want you to go out there but in my mind, you know, you're supposed to be with your friends where you talk about titties and, you know, you talk about that. Oh, you got to, you know, you want them to do that. So I'm like, go get out here, you know, fucking go do it. That's why I got the kid a bank account and he just applied for a job at the movies and shit like that. Like, you know,
we're getting old.
There. Yeah, we are.
Oh, you know, your kids are getting a job. Freaking Isaac's daughter's already 15 and Miles is already fucking 80. Like, shit. Like he has an 80-year-old soul on him. Like, Jesus Christ, we're getting old, man.
Dog, when we went to Nando's party, we were sitting there yesterday, and my wife was like, she goes, what do we do with the kids? I'm like, what do you mean, what do we do with the kids? They're fucking teenagers. You leave them the fuck alone. Like, you just leave them here. So as we're walking out, they all like kind of looked at me like, you guys are just going to leave us here? I'm like, yeah, you guys are fucking grown. You know what to do. Fucking shit goes down. You know where Grandpa's house is, dude. Like, fucking go. It's like, shit. Like, they, you know, we went
It's just different. It's different, man. It's like, dude.
We got to go to the casino afterwards. That was
I see so many of those like reels and TikToks about some of the Zenio kids are just like, yeah, the boomers are kind of old and the millennials they're kind of arrogant and whatnot, but we don't fuck with Gen Xers because they walked by themselves to kindergarten and they drank from the hose and then you fucking run your mouth to them. And then you'll
this
just
bottle of
disappear.
water is classy to me. That's how much hose water I drank. Okay, when I drink this, I feel like a fucking king. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. Like when me and Isaac we get together, we're drinking and you know, and we're at a birthday party or we're just bullshitting, and then we see the kids. We'll see his kids, and it's like, wow, these kids, like I just said, and you, Nick, they have it all. You know, like. When we grew up, I was fucking poor, like crazy poor. So, you know, I was like, hey, they threw me outside. Like, don't come back till later on. I don't want to see you in the house. You know, so
that was awesome.
You know,
that was awesome. She said,
yeah. She said, I'm never taking a shot again. I said, good,
good.
They say that now.
You should have seen her face. I don't think she'll ever. At least she won't have tequila.
That's what I said when I took my first shot. When I had my first beer, I'm like, never again.
Well, I had my first shot at 15, and I was like this. Let's take another one. You know, and next thing you know, I was a fucking alcoholic. But
no, you were never an alcoholic.
But you know, like you said, the same thing you, Nate. These kids. Now that I think about it, and I was remembering now with Isaac, they're so different. Now they care more about playing Minecraft and hanging out, you know, with just at the house in the rooms. And
yeah, they're in the rooms, but they're in chat rooms or they're playing with their friends online.
Yeah, like, you know, just playing games and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I used to play a lot of video games, but I was playing video games with my friends on my friend's house, like 10 of us.
Yeah, you would get together still.
But that's
and they would
literally
go outside.
The internet connection is what killed it, because that was it. Remember, we would one guy would get Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yep.
And we would all fucking run over to that guy's house, and
You
everyone
know
would
the
have to
biggest
take
problem
turns.
that they have? Here's the biggest problem that
those
they
are the best
have.
time.
Is the
Oh,
biggest
yeah.
problem that they have as a generation is they don't really know the consequence of running your mouth
They have no common
to a
sense.
grown person.
They got no
Because
common
they're
sense,
used,
bro.
they're used to, like me and there's this motorcycle called a Suron. It's an electric motorcycle, and there's these Suron kids who ride their little electric motorcycles on the mountain bike trails. In the mountain bike trails, there's just old dudes like me out there with shovels and water, digging and making jumps and stuff, making the trails. And the Suron kids just sneak through when the old guys aren't there and fuck it up on their motorcycles. So, and then they post online, like they have their Instagram account, like where they're like getting clout for fucking up the work of other people. And there's I have a strong inkling, and they do that, and they say that, but you see them out on the trail, and we're like, hey, you're one of those little Suron fuckers, huh? You're gonna come. You're waiting for us to leave here so you can fuck our thing up. No, sir, I would never do that. And then you go back and you see their fucking post like, yeah, I told this boomer that I was gonna, and then it's just like, dude, like, they're gonna catch the wrong boomer, dude, because we came from a time and a place where if you ran your mouth, somebody was gonna fucking punch it. You know, it's like that Tyson quote, right? There's too many people are able to say things without having to, you know, catch a smack for having said it.
Today was great, dude. My son, my 16-year-old, he's a behemoth of a kid, and he's a brick shit house, and fucking he comes running up to my wife to like pat her on the back, but you know he don't know his own strength, and just fucking like I was in the other room and I heard it. It went whack, like just like loud, like a flare chop loud. And I just popped up out of nowhere and I ran in the room and I went, what the fuck was that? And he's like telling, my wife, he's like, I'm sorry, mom, I didn't mean it that
She
hard.
was fine though. If it was a flare chop, it was loud but fake.
No, don't talk shit. Flare, I will Gunther flare chop just me, and then I'll chop you, and I'll get Mr.
And then it'll be loud and fake.
Fucking put you in the perfect
anytime,
flex,
bro. Anytime you want to hit me with a loud fake chop, bro, I'm here for you.
Like that.
You can film me.
This dude literally teared up, like, and then I smiled to my wife. I'm like, we raised him right. He still got fear of us, dude, even though he's bigger than us and shit. Like, he still got some fear in us.
I remember when I got bigger than my dad, he was just like, I'll still fucking shoot you.
I told him, I said, just remember, I'll grab him in like a certain hold, and I'll be like, well, just remember, I don't care how big you get, I can still fuck you up. And he's like, I know, Dad. Oh, all right, love you, buddy, love you.
Oh, fun times. All right,
I had to do the same thing with my nephew. Now he's barely 15, but he's
Shockwave, that's right.
He's 6'3", and I was like, okay. He thought he was all tough. And so I had my sister was like, oh, I haven't seen him for a while, so we took a picture. And so I just told him, I'm like, you can still kick your ass, right? He said, yes, uncle. I was like, just wanted to let you know.
Yeah.
Just don't try to act all tough because you're tall. Gotta put my foot down.
Tell him I've knocked out bigger people than you, buddy.
Right, on accident.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Let's go through this. I got something going back to our original. Let's see. Iggy wants to talk first. You're not kicking anybody's ass. Shut up. Okay.
I whoop ass. Like that. I come up to people and I go, fuck that. And then just up the cut.
All right. So I just put comic books in here. And then, so it's very generic search. And then we go to highest first. We can just run through here And see, according to price, what these Grail comics are. According to price. So we got 2.5 million for a 9.6 Action Comics #1. 2.5 million for a Detective #27. 1 million. Yeah, this one's our best. Stan Lee sketch. A Stan Lee stick figure sketch. That's not worth $1 million. Singapore. Not Holy Grail. Swamp Thing #50.
Damn.
First Justice League Dark, 1 of 2 Canadian edition. Here we go. Superman #1.
I want that one.
550.
That's pretty good.
Simpsons. Comics and Stories #1.
I don't know if that
500,000.
I don't know if that's worth
That's
500,000.
That's a variant though, or something.
Simps, not even Simpsons. Simps, 9.88. Yeah, that's like or best. That's or best. Batman #1. Batman #1's still legit, dude.
I have that Action Comics cover on my wall in the kitchen.
As a reprint or the
No,
poster.
like the wood, those wood painting, that they'll do. But I love that cover.
This is legit. Pep Comics 22. First Archie, Betty, and Jughead. Not necessarily my thing, but those are iconic characters as far as comics goes. Stan Lee signed 10 times in colored Sharpies. I don't know if that's worth 250,000, but it is kind of original. I mean, it's $1,000 of signatures. Detective 29. First Doctor Death. Here we go. Hulk. That's one book that I never see is Hulk #1. You guys ever see them sitting in cages or at the cons, just behind glass or whatever?
Yeah, I've seen a few of them.
I've seen a few of them, but I see more Amazing Fantasies than I do Hulks.
No, I see Hulks. I see more Hulks than Amazing Fantasy. Myself, I see more Hulks.
Iron Man 126. What's the fucking 215,000? Oh, 9.9.
Oh wow!
But that's a super old label too, huh?
Yeah, that's old.
9.0 PGX.
I wouldn't trust that one.
Signed by Stan Lee. Yeah, it's probably trimmed or something. Collection. Oh, here we go. Amazing Fantasy 6.5, 175K. 7.0, 175K. Avengers #1. Iron Man. First appearance of Iron Man.
Just the suspense, yeah.
That's legit. Amazing Spider-Man 800 Virgin variant. See, fuck the variants, dude. Hulk 181. That was Fuzzy's official cutoff.
Oh, yeah. But look at that. Amazing. I love that one.
That's the white cover?
I want that one. Yeah, I want that one.
That's
the one I've been
looking for.
One. Yeah, I've been looking for that one.
That's hard. I've been trying to find that one. That's hard to find.
Shit, at a 9.8, you can pick one up right here for $124,999.99.
No, I'm good. I would take just a regular Rob copy if I could find it.
This is ridiculous. Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing #1, David Nakayama signature with COA, $120,000.
No one's ever gonna buy that. That's not worth. That's barely worth like $100. $100, and that's it.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Throw the lot out. Suicide Squad. 1959, Brave and the Bold 25, first appearance of Suicide Squad. 1959 at that, too. I think something from the 50s in that good a shape.
Oh yeah.
That's legit. Tales to Astonish.
How many, Josh? When you were working at
Mile High.
Mile High, how many of these old school books did you ever see? Did you see a lot of these?
You know, back then, I think that there were still more of them. You know, that was back in the, early to mid 90s. So they showed up a little bit more. And keep in mind, there's no CGC back then. So this is just stuff that was, thrown into a bag and board and maybe a top loader. You know what I mean? And it would just be sitting up there on the wall, or maybe in a locked display case. I'm trying to remember. I know I saw several Amazing Fantasy 15s. I think there were some Fantastic Four #1s, like Avengers 4 with the first appearance of Captain America. I'm not sure that I saw a whole lot of Golden Age stuff, because I think the owner of Mile High, he kept that as part of the, the official collection back in Colorado. But certainly, back in the 90s, because you're closer to that time frame when those things were in print, I think that there were more of those that showed up at that time. So,
Amazing Fantasy 5.5, 110,000. Famous Funnies. Frank Frazetta. But I don't see a significance to it. Here's a triple signed. Ween, Trimpy.
Triple sign.
100,000. Wow, man.
Does
I think
it
10
have
years ago.
Does it have a stamp on that? It should have one, right?
I mean, it's not going to hold that. It's not going to hold that label without it, right?
Yeah,
See.
you're right. Yeah, so it should have the stamp. Oh, that's nice though. Well, 3 of them.
Yeah, and we've been doing this long enough to where we could have did that.
Oh yeah.
We could have did that. We could have did that 10 years ago for $1,000.
Probably even less than that. Because if you would have found maybe not a 9.8, but you still could have gotten a good copy.
This is a 7.5.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we could have done that definitely.
I mean, shit. Fat Collectibles had a Giants of the X-Men, I think it was an 8.5 for like $300-400 way back in the day.
Yeah, Dave sold it to him.
They were selling it for like $300-400. I just didn't. I was just hella broke. I couldn't buy it. If not, I would have bought that.
And here, Jupiter's Legacy #1, 9.8. Show sucked.
No, that's not. That's
Show sucked.
Yeah, no, that's not even fucking near that what it's worth. That's another $100 book right there. If that
7 signatures.
Oh damn!
Fallout.
Is that the original Ultimate Fallout? Is that the?
Let's see
Who signed it?
That's the question of the day. Let me see.
It should have the whole list there.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Hickman, Bendis, Bagley, Ponsor, Pacelli, Stan Lee, Clayton Crane.
That's definitely a first printing of Stan Lee signed it. It's not the reprint or the facsimile. It might be second printing, but Stan Lee wasn't around for the facsimile.
No, remember the second printing is only his face.
Yeah.
So that has to be the first print. I mean, I can't really see the description, but it looks like a first print.
Shazam, highest rated, 1941, 5.0.
That's another one I haven't watched yet. I still haven't watched the new one.
It died. Robotech 2, The Sentinels, Holy Grail, 97.5.
Damn, why is that Star Wars fucking 90 grand? What the hell's so special about that one? Because I got like 3 of those.
It's not.
It's not. It's gonna be. Is it our best offer?
But I'm saying it's not even that.
It's all buy it now. There's no best offer on it.
Yeah, but it's not worth that much. They wish.
What's the
Yeah.
point? Money laundering? That's some shit.
Whoever wants to buy that for 90,000, hit Fuzzy up, dude. I'll give it to you for $1,000, dude. I'll give you $89,000 off on that book. $1,000.
I'll give you $89,000 off.
That's how crazy Fuzzy is, dude.
Like that
I
one right
like
there.
that. What's that?
Fucking, that's not worth 80 grand. Just Danny's signature.
What grade is it?
5.5.
Oh fuck no.
Yeah, but it's got our best offer on it. I think they do that to push that book up in the search.
Yeah, that book
See-
should. It's not even worth 12. If it's
See-
that, even if I said
see
over grades.
sold. See like what's sold and the highest.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because in that way we could see like what people are spending their money on.
Yeah, because these are people that wishful thinking. Some
Yeah.
So they wish they could get a sucker to fucking just buy something like that. Well, they wish they could have a super high fuzzy on the internet on eBay. A real sucker.
We
A real
don't
sucker
talk
buying
about
everything.
You want to see what I got? I got 2 purchases that are my super high purchases. One of them was a Braun Strowman's card signed from China. Came in the mail. I said, "What the fuck is this?" And I opened it up. I'm like, "Oh, shit! Shouldn't have got this."
A wrestler that's not even that popular.
I know. And I got it from China too. I was like, I couldn't get it anywhere around here. I was dying. Yeah, I got that.
I think it was too broad.
Oh.
No, you should be able. You should be able.
Codes.
You should be able on sold. You just pick on.
Yeah, I know how to do that, but okay, I clicked the wrong search. There's 2 search options. Okay.
There we go.
Highest first. Yeah, but see, this still takes away. What this does is it takes, unless somebody bought one of those. I remember when I was thinking about looking at this up. Those like, unless somebody spent $1 million on a book and bought it. But I mean, this works now that we've gotten through those crazy high ones.
Right. Like now, let's see what people are at, like technically. Okay, so there's one that someone. Oh no, that's a best offer accepted.
Yeah, these are all best offer accepted. Ninja Turtles. That's one. That was a low print run from a really popular thing. I think that it's modern, and I think Ninja Turtles could be a Grail.
I agree.
Chamber of Chills.
It's
Fantasy 3.0, 34 grand.
Oh, that Batman too, dude. That's fucking crazy.
Only 26 on census is at a 9.8. 33 grand. Holy smokes. Look at this one. 1939 historic collectible, very scarce. Marvel Mystery Comics #2. Who even is that? 7.0. Hulk 28.
Good God.
300. McFarlane 300. Well, yeah, those are hard to get. Those McFarlane 300s at 9.8 because he fucking smashes them.
That's crazy. Oh, there you go. There's in Turtles for 25 or 24.
First printing. That's a good deal. 9.4 first printing. 3.0. Best offer accepted. Fantastic Four #1, 23 grand. Straight Arrow. Brave and the Bold. Turtles first print. So 20 grand get you a first print Turtles book. I just don't know if I can spend.
That's the first ASM #1 that we've seen.
19 grand at a 5.5.
I think that's dropped.
I mean, everything's dropped in the last 2 years. It makes me regret not selling everything. Should have sold it all, and I could have bought it all back. Sold it all 2 years ago and bought it all back for half price.
Not even a quarter of the price.
Right? Here's an X-Men one. That's a grail for me for sure. I remember our buddy, what's his name? They had the barbecues.
Mm.
Let's see, let me go back through some of these comics. Sold old comic book and Marvel Presents thing number 80. And they had an advertisement of a store selling all these grails. And they were like
What's his
only in the
name?
thousands for a good copy.
What's the guy's name? We used to
You
have,
know,
we used to have the barbecues at.
yeah. He had a bunch of those books and he just fucking sold them all for nothing in a lot to a shop
Yeah, to the shop in San Diego.
just for fucking pennies on the dollar. What's that guy's
Yeah,
name? Just JC?
JC. Yeah, I was pissed off because he found a spot where they had this old dude was selling the DC comics grails, like
Good
comics
books.
that I would have kept in my collection that would never sell. Like, the first appearance of Green Lantern, Sinestro, stuff like that I love. And he was always asking me questions about it. I'm like, well, shit, let me know where the store's at, 'cause I wanna go get it. And I said he bought them, and I'm like, well, shit, I'll buy them from you. Like, give it to me for a good price. He wanted to give it to me like for what the value was going on eBay. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
You can just buy it from eBay.
And then he was buying them and selling them. I was like, you fucking piece of crap. He just tried to. He was only getting from because he knew everything about Marvel. He had no idea about DC. So all he was at was trying to get information from me to see what books were hot, and he was just grabbing all those keys and selling them, like grabbing from the old man, like for super cheap.
15 grand, Fantastic Four number 1, 3.0.
Why was that Transformer so high?
They took a best offer.
Fucking even if they took
It's
half
raw.
that. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I got 3 of those. Son of a bitch.
Punisher. Yeah, sell your Punisher. Fuck. You guys, oh, we can go back to this. We talk about the Punisher. You guys know what I want to talk about with the Punisher? Everybody knows what's going on with Punisher?
No.
The Punisher's wife came back from the dead.
In the books?
In the books. Punisher's wife comes back from the dead, says she's disappointed in him for what he's done in the name of. She's disappointed in him in the killing that he did in her name and the daughter's name, and fucking sold all his guns. Now he's gonna
He's gonna hug him to death.
Yeah, fucking.
When did this book come out so I can go get it and I can read it? Because I need to read this shit.
I just saw it in the outrage forums.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, there's no more Punisher. It was ridiculous.
It's a really good ending for the character. Iggy, you would say it's good with your Barbie picture.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh my god, dude! That's stupid. Help me. Well, so he's now the machine gun preacher.
He rides a book spreading the word.
He
Yeah,
knocks at the
that's
door.
just.
Hi, I'm Frank Castle. Have you heard the good word?
The Punisher. Oh man.
Well, Again, I haven't bought a new book since that Superman book, and I only bought it because I like the art inside of it. Like the story was whatever, but I was supposed to go.
Yeah, Isaac, that's like a sarcastic tears of laughter too in that Punisher book. The Punished. Do that to the fucking A. They need to start like superheroes are going to start going to jail in New York for arresting the people who were pushing people in front of the subway cars. How dare you stop them from killing people? They're the victims. The killers are the victims.
And I mean, but the part, I don't know, like even Schuster and those guys, when they created Superman, like a lot of people believe that he created it because of the fact that his dad, I think he was killed in a bank robbery or something like that, and no one was there to save his dad. So that's kind of the reason why he has bullets bouncing off of him and stuff because of that. I always love to think of superheroes as the guys we wish that existed, you know, like the Punisher. As much as, you know, if there's a fucking rapist or something like that, like me and you are not going to go pick up a gun and shoot the
exactly,
guy.
Isaac.
You know what I mean?
Like how pedos are misunderstood. No, man. Like some shit is just good and some shit is just bad. Some people just need to get their ass kicked and some people just need to kick ass. And it's as fucking simple as that. You can ask fucking Vikram. Vikram will tell you.
Yeah, no, you need a badass. You need a badass to go out there and kick their asses. Like that's why I've always loved the idea of a
MAPs,
person,
minor attracted people.
I like the idea of a guy that has done something so bad that he's punishing himself, and he has to find a way to redeem himself. So he's someone bad that's going to try to, you know, could become good and shit. And you know, you could kind of say that about Frank Castle because he was, you know, a hired hitman or hired assassin for the government in the military, and then he uses it to go against the bad guys and stuff. And that's, you know, I like that.
And you guys see John Bernthal? John Bernthal, he was Shane from The Walking Dead and also the Punisher. Yeah. Can you see him like his wife comes back and instead of killing bad guys, he's fucking joins LeVar Burton and they're reading Rainbow. It's not the Punisher. Like, they need to just leave the Punisher alone and come up with a reading Rainbow story.
No, again, I think they're just trying to make people buy the book. Like, they just sold a copy to me because I want to read it now. Oh, shit, my knee.
Oh, see, you're the problem, Fuzz.
I am. I've said it 100 times. I don't doubt that I'm the problem. It's people like me. Like I'm the best person for you guys to talk to because I come partially from their point of view is, you know, I'm always looking for something good to read. You know, that's why I like the Comic Cave picks because they usually hit a home run. Usually, like 96%, I'll say 96.
Now, what about this one? All right, Infinity Gauntlet #1, signed 9 times. Downey Jr., Olsen, Brolin, Holland, Evans, Lee.
How much did it go for? Is it best offer?
They got it. It looks like it was originally listed at $14,500, but they took a best offer.
It has Downey, Olsen, so we know that Downey is probably like $500 or something like that, and then Olsen's probably another $300. And who else was on there, Stan?
James Brolin, Tom Holland, Chris Evans.
So each of those actors, we'll say, are $300 to $500, roughly, for each one of those signatures. So if he took
Stan Lee, Zoe Saldana, Jeremy Renner, Chris Evans, John Cheadle, and Sebastian Stan.
So he spent a pretty penny on that book. That's fucking crazy.
9.8. That for a 9.8 to go through that many hands and still keep its condition. Oh snap! You did?
Oh snap! Yeah.
Oh man, let me know. Did you get suspended? Oh, I wonder if you're gonna catch any. Did they catch you in the algorithm, or did you get reported? Oh, that's interesting.
For what?
Tell
That he cut a motherfucker if they harm anyone he loves.
tell him if we need to sign a permission slip saying it's we were okay with it, we will.
Right. So we're still going on the listed comics. Superman number 4.
Love
First appearance
that.
of Lex Luthor, huh?
I love
13,300. That would be a good one, dude. That doesn't seem too ridiculous.
Right now is the time to get the Superman books before the movie comes out. Everybody's gonna want them.
Well,
Yeah, it just depends on what they do with Superman, though.
First of all, all the time is a good time to get Superman because no one's buying them. So
let me tell you something, buddy. When's the last time we saw a good Green Lantern
that buys
movie?
them is you and another friend of mine, Joel. That's it. Two people that buy Superman comics.
When was the last good Green Lantern movie?
It don't matter. We're talking about Superman.
I'm just,
now.
I know, but I'm just saying, if we compare,
it sells though. Comics sell Green Lantern. There's a shitload of Green Lantern comic books that sell.
Yeah.
But Superman, on the other hand, no one wants them.
I've never met somebody that is so jealous of the S on the chest than Havoc. Like
nobody cares. Trust me, nobody cares.
I think deep down in that Havoc heart of his,
isn't it S for Sanchez?
That's what I thought, dude. I thought he'd love it because it has part of his initials on there. But
no, we're good. We're good.
He needs to get a bowl cut like Gardner, and then the original Edgar cut.
I don't have no more long hair. I just cut my hair this week. Short now. It's like super short. I have no more long hair.
Lost your power.
Yeah. I was like, I'm tired of having long hair. Got one more month and San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, I need to see if I'm going.
And then I just bought my New York Comic-Con tickets. They went on sale this weekend. I just bought them.
So you were just able to buy them, huh? You didn't have to go through San Diego shenanigans?
No, me and Isaac and Isaac's wife, we got into the registration last year.
So you're able to kind of grandfather in?
It's a whole different. It's way different than San Diego. You just register for New York. You don't have to buy a ticket for that same, for this year last year to continue this year. We just registered, and they just send you, as long as you register before a certain date, they send you an email for this year, and then you just buy the ticket. That's it. And yeah, got my email, and I just bought. I mean, the 4-day pass, it sold out in fucking seconds. But I just bought every single day by itself. So
okay,
I just bought my 4-day tickets, and that's it. We're good. We're ready to go. Can't wait.
Oh, he's froze.
He froze. But yeah, I can't wait for us to go.
SS is more his style. That was funny. Oh.
Dan De La Torre.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for New York. It's gonna be my first time.
DCU has treated Green Lantern much like Marvel has treated MODOK, a joke. Both characters are far more powerful than the way are displayed on the big screen. Yeah, man. I agree.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Green Lantern's more powerful than what? What?
Than he's portrayed in the movies.
It all goes by willpower. Hal Jordan is the best Green Lantern out there.
So I got a little unboxing for everyone from the greatest seller on Whatnot.
What
Most
shitty
exhilarating.
book? What shitty book did you get this time?
I got Guy Gardner.
That's not shitty. That is a shitty book then.
You like what I did there, Vargas?
That was funny. That was good.
It's not that good. It's Blue Beetle. I got Blue Beetle.
No,
Honestly, I don't remember what I got.
Sanchez knows that's a lie. He's always the first person that gets my Blue Beetle stuff. Because I don't even like that in my box. So get that out of there.
Oh, I got it signed. Oh snap! Is this? Oh.
Yeah, you're gonna retire now.
Oh snap!
Put it on the big screen.
You don't want to show people. You don't want to show people that you have that, and then they're gonna come looking for your house, dude. You don't want to do that.
Let's see.
I got a signed Ninja Funk.
Wow. Nice. Oh, I like that cover.
Nice. And
oh,
Fuzzy the Fat Man
that's
comic
priceless
sticker.
right there.
There you
That's
go.
priceless sticker right there.
As soon as I go out of business, that's worth money.
But this is my favorite thing. Fuck the
I thought of
comics.
you. I thought of you when I was going.
This is my
through
favorite
box.
thing right here. I'm like, oh shit, a Cobra Pog.
Wow.
Yeah, that's dope.
Wow.
We got that when we were in San Diego, and I remember I grabbed it because I was like, I'm on Nate like this thing, and I forgot to give it to you, like, you know, since last year, and so I was like, when I was going through the boxes, I was like, oh shit, I forgot, so I set it aside. I was like, if Nate buys something or I see him again, I'll give it to him and shit. So that was for you, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No worries.
So let's see. Dan De La Torre, he would say Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart are equal in popularity and power as the Green Lantern.
No, Hal Jordan's stronger. He's number one.
Is Hal
Don't get me
Jordan
wrong. Jon Stewart
does he
is
get
a
over
great...
Does he get over your Guy Gardner, Sanchez?
He got picked first because it was supposedly closer. But
so he won the proximity prize?
Yeah, basically. But Jon Stewart, his backstory, he's a really good character. I mean, even if they do the Green Lantern, if they're saying they're doing the Green Lantern show in HBO, if they do it for Jon Stewart, I wouldn't even mind, because that's such a good character. That if they have a good story, it would be a great show. So, all three of them. It just depends who writes it. You know, it all depends. Hal Jordan, Stewart, even Guy Gardner. It just all depends who writes the show.
That's dope.
But it's easy for right now. Like Nick said earlier, like for the keys and stuff. If you want to get some easy keys right now, DC is the way to go.
Yeah.
It's the way to go. You can still get a Jon Stewart key for cheap. I mean, for his first appearance, for cheap. Same thing with Guy Gardner. You get, his first appearance. It's not that expensive. Hal Jordan would be the one that's the most, but you can still get everybody else. You can even get Kilowog for super cheap. So yeah, I would start jumping on those Green Lanterns or any DC character right now, before James Gunn's movies start coming out.
And the show sounds dope if they go the way they're going. Like I'll watch it. You know, a space age cop drama. You know what I mean? Like they were saying it was going to be like True Detective in space and shit. And I was like, oh, it's dope. I'm down with that. Dude, have you guys watched The Idol yet? I sent it in the text.
Is that the one with Lily Rose Depp?
Yeah.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Johnny Depp's daughter.
Yeah.
Dude, this show is fucked up, dude.
Are they all out?
No, there's only two episodes out right now, and fucking.
You want to do it?
I've been watching it, and think of what we think of as like Britney Spears, right? Like her life, like she was a teen pop, and then fucking went nuts, and then she kind of made a comeback and shit. That's what this is kind of like. Like, but the dialogue in the first episode in the opening is right on Hollywood, like dialogue, and even down to like you remember Entourage, right? Like you'd watch Entourage and listen to these guys talk. It was like that, like, but now it's going into this weird like S&M fucking Fatal Attraction kind of thing. Like it got weird, like in this last episode where I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like this is weird. And it's got the guy The Weeknd or whatever on there. I was like, oh shit, this it's actually good. I dig it.
Well, I've been here. Like I saw like earlier today. I saw like 5 different reviews.
Film Age don't like your shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Film Age, come on, tell me that wasn't the best line that comes out.
They hated the show. The show was that's crap. And then if they want to see The Weeknd do porn, he just rather just do porn.
No, there's literally a shot where they go. So the opening scene is they go out and she's practicing her dance for her video, for a music video, and they're all behind her back, like without her knowing, panicking because the trending tweet is her with nut on her face, and fucking like that's been going around. And so people are like panicking, and he's like, and the what's his name from Hank from The Simpsons? He did Apu's voice, Hank Kazarian, or
Azaria.
Yeah, he's in it, and he plays her manager, and he's like, he kind of does the accent of from Birdcage, but more manlier and shit. And he's like, what do they call that? The cocky, the kicky, the girl's like bukkake. Yeah, bukkake. He goes, and the girl goes, well, it kind of looks, it can't be technically bukkake because that's like 3 guys. Like this looks like 1. I mean, if I was to judge like the spread on her face and shit, I was laughing so hard. I was like, that's great. That's fucking great, dude. That's
so
awesome.
Lily Rose,
she
coming out with shit on her face.
She is a whore in this show. Like if you wanted to see what she looked like naked, there you go. Like she's butt naked through up half the fucking thing.
She's somebody's daughter, dude. I'm old now, dude. I got girls, man.
Hey, and Anna Nicole Smith, and Pamela Anderson, those were someone's daughters too. But I'll tell you what, I jerked the hell off with those.
Yeah, but I didn't have daughters when they were someone's daughter.
You got me with that. I'm about to watch it tonight.
You tell me what you think. It's just different. It's a different type of show. It's just really like weird.
Yeah, like I said, I saw those reviews. They were not that good reviews for that show. I was like,
And then if you watch it, dude, tell me if the Vanity Fair is a shim, or what, I don't know what we're allowed to call them now, whatever. Because I was like, I kept looking. They don't bring it up in the show, but I'm like watching. I'm like, is that a dude? But it is 50 Shades. The last episode was very much 50 Shades of Grey. Like there's this one, like he's like, I want you to suck on my cock, and you just hear her going, oh. I was laughing, dude. I was like, I love this show.
Yeah, dude. Like, you know what? That's the thing. I'm glad that at my age, I find women attractive that are actually close to my age.
I agree with you, dude. I totally agree with you. But
I don't.
Like every time I saw, like, even the girl in this show, like the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, she has no boobs, like, you know. And I didn't know it was Johnny Depp's daughter. She's a pirate's treasure. Yeah, just
sunken chest.
You know, yep. I was like, oh god. Man. But again, I'm more intrigued about where the show's going than I am about because like again, I thought this was going to be like the guy the weekend was going to be more like an Ike Turner, like he comes in and starts beating the shit out of her, kind of thing. But now they're leading it towards like he's a scam artist and he's done this to a bunch of people and he's been setting this up this whole time. And I'm like, oh shit, this kind of got a little deeper than I thought it was going to get and stuff. So it's good. I dig it. Oh,
I just
All right.
I just realized
So-
what happened to Liz?
One of our cats had some surgery, so she's kind of like looking after her while she's recovering.
Ah,
wow.
is the cat doing
All right.
okay?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Late to the party next week. It's going to be Breakfast Club.
Oh, yeah, cool.
That's gonna be a good one. Hey,
Yeah.
No, wait, I'll take it back. I take it back. Because Fuzzy's in his 40s. I like me a little bit of youngerness, you know what I'm saying? Because them 30-year-olds know what they're doing.
I like 30-year-olds. But,
I 35 and up. Any
Yeah.
younger than that, I don't even want to hear him speak.
I don't mind.
Grandmas are cool too.
You're an idiot. Hey Isaac, once we're done, if we're not gonna go to sleep, log on to freaking Fortnite.
Fort crap. No,
All right, so next week's going to be Breakfast Club, and then I'll hit you guys up in a couple days with the Curry movie.
When are you guys? Nate, when are you gonna upload the Serenity one?
The Serenity one is going to be on Friday morning.
It's gonna be uploaded Friday morning.
Yep.
Okay, because I wanna watch that.
Yeah, Serenity's going to be Friday morning. Usually I do Curry on Wednesdays, late to the party on Fridays, and then we do the live stream on Monday. And then I've got Monday, Wednesday, Friday content. And then I haven't been doing it very well, but I try to do something where I'm actually like putting in music and doing production and whatnot, like how to buy comics or, something like that. I try to do something like that once a month, but I've been pretty rough. So at least I still got got our Monday hangouts that I'm able to stretch across 3 days, which has been, it's been fun and easy, and yeah, fun and easy. So 11, that was a Holy Grail Comics that we stretched it out pretty good, and we diverged a little bit, but I think we're able to carry through fairly well. Oh, Comic Cave got something to say about gilfs.
Oh, let's not start. Let's not start Comic Cave. Let Isaac start right now. I know it's after dark.
Dust.
I know it's after dark, but let's not get him started.
You want some so old they fart mummy dust?
Oh, let's not, please.
All right, so next week we're doing Brat Pack. We're doing Breakfast Club, and then we'll hit you back up with the Curry. Wednesday is going to be Pathan and Serenities on Friday. I think that's all we got for now. Any more you guys got to contribute about Holy Grail Comics before we end this?
I got a new stop motion Lego movie coming out that I slaved over for a couple hours because Fuzzy got really high and didn't want to buy things on eBay. So that'll be coming out on TikTok soon.
Oh, that's cool. Send me the link. I'll post it on. I can post a link to it from the news page on YouTube too, so they can get
cool
access to that. Buy Silver Age comic, yes. Silver Age, that's the way to go. Silver and below, that's the Holy Grail. All right,
Yeah.
y'all. Fuzzy,
All right.
thanks for coming.
Ladies,
Jaded, Sanchez, as always. Take us out, Fuzz.
Alrighty.
have some love, some peace, and that Popeyes grease, ladies and gentlemen. We out.
Later's all.